Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the June garden tour. Air conditioning is running because it's a little warm out. Hopefully that's not too much noise. Over here I have the vegetable bed, what little there is of it, and I have a bunch of pots all around me on the ground here, which I will be showing you in a moment. If you aren't following me on Instagram, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. If you haven't liked and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when I post up a new video. Also, it's a little windy today, so there may be some wind noise. I apologize for that. I don't like watching videos with wind noise, so I imagine you don't either. But yeah, clock's ticking. I'm on my lunch hour. Let's do this. Alrighty, in the vegetable bed here we have it's a very small spinach. It's not doing very well, but it's doing, I have red cabbage, green cabbage, and I have my carrots, which are, some are doing better than others. Right here is the cosmic purple carrots that I got free from, I don't know who, oh, Baker Creek. So, and over here, it's like this little wispy one, and over here, these. Those are Hercules carrots, I believe, from Burpee, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, carrots are growing. Tomato plant is starting to take off, which is very nice. So hopefully in another, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so, I start getting tomatoes. Peas are growing up this little makeshift trellis here that I used to keep the dog out. And if I spin over here, I have, these are my Norland dark red potatoes. So very nice. A little basil, parsley. These sad looking little things are Yukon Gold half cut potatoes. So I took a potato and I cut it in half, and it's growing, but growing slowly. This is a Delphium flower right here, right there. It's a Delphium flower. And over here we have another tomato plant. This one is also starting to take off. Very nice, pretty excited about that. More Yukon Gold. If you watched any of my other previous videos, I said I have a lot of Yukon Golds growing. Basil, thyme, and another tomato plant. Giant well, it's not a giant, but it's a large hydrangea bush. So, which then borders the fence, and right underneath it, right here, this is an aster, I believe. So, and that's pretty full. That should start flowering soon. Okay, and here we got another Yukon Gold. This, I believe, is another Yukon Gold in the bag. Actually, you know what? Check that tag. That tag down there, which, yeah, that's another Yukon Gold. And then we have more spinach. I'm trying to grow spinach in a pot. Don't know how it's going to turn out. It's an experiment. If you've ever grown spinach in a pot, please leave a comment below. It'd be interesting to hear about that. We have parsley, and then over here, these are Peacock Orchids. And they were little nodules that I had found from the bulbs last year, and I just threw them into a pot to see what would happen, and apparently they're growing. Let's see what we got over here. That's an iris hiding down there. There's various lilies that are growing up. Not that. That is a weed of some sort. But those are lilies. Hostas. More lilies. I'm sorry, not irises. Sorry, apologize. Irises. We're not sure what this is. If anybody in the comments may have a guess as to what this plant that looks like a fern or a carrot may be, please let me know in the comments below. So, skipping along, we have another iris, lots of hostas. I apologize for all the background noise of the wind and the airplanes and whatever other nonsense is going on. So, my wife and I, now that I've taken up gardening, we both like hostas. Hostas are quite easy to grow and pretty hardy. If you can see here, yeah, I still have leaves to clean out of the beds, and yes, I know it's June. So But life sometimes gets in the way. I have a 9 to 5, and yeah, so lots of Hoconi grass here. This bed was a lot fuller last year, but yeah, it didn't happen. We didn't fill out that much this year. Maybe we will later in the year. So, but it's a good sized bed, and there's lots of stuff going on here. Foxglove, I love foxglove. I was just posting a thing on Instagram this morning and saying I don't know why I like foxglove, but I do like foxglove. I don't know if it's the bells, the flowers, the foliage, the hardiness, the fact that it's biannual. So these are, and I forget every single time, my wife tells me every single time, lilac trees. So unfortunately they've all blossomed and bloomed out. So, but yeah, doing well. We skim along the back here real quick. The more irises. This was filled with daffodils, but they've all passed. Now the irises are coming through. And unfortunately, I believe these are viburnum, and we just missed the blooming of the viburnum. So as you can see, all these spent flower ends. So it was a glorious display. A few alliums left, doing their thing. This is oak leaf hydrangea, and the oak leaf hydrangea, if you can see, is getting ready to flower. So I'll be posting that up on Instagram, and maybe in a future video we'll be lucky to see enough to see it. Heuchera, more irises, provide a little color to this shady spot here. These hydrangeas, I can't remember. They have a beautiful white flower. I want to say something with like a lamb's ear, not a lamb's ear. Snowball, not a snowball. If I can remember the name, I'll put it in the film here, or if I find out from the wife, who's much better at these things than I am. This is an area I've kind of let run amok to be a little more naturalistic. So we have hostas. This is moneywort. I think it's moneywort. I think that's what it's called. It's a creeping vine, as it were. So, which is very pretty, I think. So, and it grows right into the lily of the valley, into the beds. This is a Empress Wu hosta, holding its own against the lily of the valley. And there's a hosta, foxglove. Foxglove's right there. Come along the path. A couple of astilbes here, which I have to do a bit of weeding around. They should be flowering another month, maybe a few weeks. On the border over here I have, I believe that's Japanese painted fern and lungworts. There was a Virginia bluebell back in here, but it's all flowered and I believe gone into dormancy. This is a heuchera, another heuchera. Still has some flowers left on it. Very pretty. There are those foxgloves you just saw a second ago. I believe this is ostrich fern. And I did not think this survived the winter, but now it's come back in an incredible just blossom. Another heuchera tucked in amongst the lily of the valley there. And back over here, with its massive leaves, is a, oh dear, it's a springtime, early springtime flowering plant. Oh my, getting senile here. Okay, so that's it for pretty much for the back. We're gonna head out to the front now, where it's a lot brighter and sunnier, and then we'll tour all the flowering plants out there. Get up. Okay, on this one side of the driveway, I have this one flower bed, and there's lots going on in here, so let's take a quick peek. This is Joe Pieweed, so that's coming up nicely, and I tucked these mammoth sunflowers into or next to this grass, so they're pushing their way up through the grass. I don't know if that's a good idea or bad idea. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I have some cornflower or bachelor's button coming up. They'll be nicer a little later in the year. And this, I think all of these are an echinacea. Two different varieties or types. I believe there's some pink and a red. We'll see them flower a little later on. And if I zoom in over here, this is a salvia, and it looks like it's going to flower, which is very nice. And I have a red mum. That's the red mum. And chamomile. Okay, so now we're on the other side of the driveway. We have various, believe that's a delphium. And then we have a little more hostas. This is a calendula, I believe. And more salvia. Snow Lady Shasta Daisy, which isn't really taking off, but it might, and it hopefully will look like this guy one day. And that one's getting ready to bloom. This, I believe, is a poppy. And the sweet pea need a little tender care here, but they are growing. Iris, transplanted from the backyard. This is the cornflower that I planted last year, survived the winter, and has grown up, looking quite nice. We pan the camera down. We have wormwood. I love the feel of wormwood. It is super soft. Super soft. And then we have lamb's ear. Here's another tall bunch of the cornflower. A little bird bath slash and fountain slash and bird bath and fountain. Bird bath and fountain. Okay, there we go. Whew. And we have some more hostas. Tucked in the back is some delphium. This is the dark pistemony, just flowering now. I just noticed. Just. Very nice. Nice little pink purplish flowers there. Japanese maple. More cornflower, already starting to flower. The wind is beating it up today. Dahlia in a pot. More cornflower. And in here I have various delphiums. And I have more iris. And then I have more sunflower growing up over there. Also two right there and right there. Let's do that. Right there and right there. Two dahlias that I grew from seed this year. Pretty excited about that. Some more salvia over here. My one and only lonely boxwood. Not sure what these are. And this is a what do they call that? Milkweed. This is a milkweed right here. We have yarrow, which is flowering yellow right now. It's very nice. These are more echinacea, I believe. Daylily. And various other echinaceas growing up, and coneflower. This clematis is finished flowering. It's a bit of a tangled mess, so I'll have to clean that up. More chamomile. More sunflower. I just thought it might be okay here in the middle of the garden flower bed. Why not? More daylily. Delphium, which I didn't think had survived the winter, is coming up. going to pan over here real quick. And these bushy looking things are Coreopsis. So they should be flowering red and yellow shortly. Probably in another 3 weeks. Batoni. And that one looks like he's getting ready to flower as well. And a white salvia. I really like the white salvia. It's very different. And that's a peony right there. I believe it's called America, something along those lines. More delphiums. I believe this weedy looking stuff right here is Nicotina. So self-seeded from last year, growing up. These little white guys right here are alliums. I cannot remember. Graceful allium. Graceful allium. Very pretty. It's very small. And I have some more over here. And this clematis climbing up. Won't flower until later in the year, but it's doing what I wanted it to do and why I bought this archway, which is growing over the archway, which is pretty cool. And this, I believe, is the Sweet Summer Love Clematis. So I presume it's going to flower in summer. Another dahlia in a pot. And these are delphiums, I believe, growing up. Right here. Banana Shasta Daisy. So it's a daisy coming up. These are actually not delphiums, these are Phlox. David Phlox. David Phlox, I apologize. So my garlic that I planted up here this year, not doing so hot. I think it's for a variety of reasons. If you're having troubles with your garlic, let me know in the comments below. Red Coreopsis. This is something new I'm trying this year. This is a little vine right here. This is not part of the clematis. This is Morning Glory Moonflower. Morning Glory Moonflower. So once it starts climbing up, probably a little later in the summer, I would imagine August or September maybe, it'll have these giant white flowers. A lavender that I thought was pretty much dead last year managed to hang on and is now flowering. More chamomile. Gara. Yeah, Gara, I believe that's how you pronounce it. So, and then we have more peacock orchids right here doing their thing with some lupine. Lupine right there. Growing up. More chamomile, more cornflower, hummingbird mint. It's incredible sometimes how fast a plant grows. This was nothing about a month and a half ago. Now it's just growing like crazy, and hopefully it'll be flowering within the next month. On the trellis over here we have sweet pea, but it's not looking so great. Well, this spot's looking pretty good. So, but I have more moonflower and asters tucked in the back, so hopefully they'll make up for what the other stuff isn't doing. And we've got more peonies. Look at those. This is a purple aster bush, or I call it a purple aster bush. I don't know the exact name of it, but something again didn't think was surviving. It's now coming up. If we pan over, we have some more peonies in the ground. Some of these will survive, some of them won't. This is another aster, I believe. Ooh, over here, oops, sorry for the spin there. I have zinnias. These are zinnias, and I believe we have snapdragons and delphiums. Pan up, we have more peonies along the back. And the peonies should be followed probably in another month or so by the lilies. More cornflower. Believe that yarrow is going to be a white yarrow. And this is a magnolia bush. If I pull back over here, we have peony. I just did a video on peonies. Be sure to click on the link above, and should be in the upper right hand corner there, and give that a watch. Some interesting facts about peonies I never knew. I did a little homework, and voila. And if we pan down, more salvia, and then my white rose bush. Don't know the exact name or the brand or the type, and it's absolutely lovely. Smells incredible. See if we get a close-up of one of those. That looks great. I have to do some deadheading in here today, maybe tomorrow. Behind it, on this trellis, trying to block out the hideous RV, I have a climbing rose, which is also white. That one is called Honeymoon Rose. And that was flowering. I had to do some deadheading. Oh, I see a flower. Honeymoon Rose, very pretty. And back here, tucked in amongst the plants, more calendula. And more, I love the purple salvia that I have here. It's very nice. This right here, I believe, is an aster that I replanted last year. And then we have hydrangea back in here. I believe there's another hydrangea tucked in back over in here, which is hard to see. And then, of course, the wisteria, which is going to get a haircut soon because it's done flowering, but it's still magnificent going over the archway. And then there's just one more spot to show you. And here we go. Last but not least, end of the show for today. This lovely pot of lavender, which sits by the front door. And yeah, it's flowering, which is pretty awesome. It's looking a bit raggedy in spots, but it's doing its thing. It's growing. It smells wonderful. Oh, love the smell of lavender. So what'd you think? Please leave any questions, comments, suggestions below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I post up new videos, which I try to do weekly. I will be doing a July garden tour, knock on wood. So, and that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, one more thing. If you haven't already, please go check out, or if you don't already follow them, please go check out the Optimistic Gardener, Heart and Gardening, and Salon Girl. So 3 channels I've subscribed to recently. They're all pretty cool channels. Let them know Growing a Green Finger sent you, and enjoy their channels. They have some great content. That's it for now. Catch you on the next video. This time, I mean it. Next video.